Hey, happy Friday. So we're picking right back up in 1 Kings 18 where we ended yesterday. Yesterday we read about the prophets of Baal and their ritual for sacrifice in trying to persuade their gods, the Baals and Asherahs, to show themselves strong, right? So, this is 1 Kings 18. We'll start at verse 29. And midday passed, and they played the part of the prophets until the time for offering the evening sacrifice. But there was no voice, no answer, and no one who paid attention. Then Elijah said, I only am left as a prophet of God. So Elijah said to all the people, come near to me. And all the people came near, and he repaired the old altar of the Lord that had been broken down by Jezebel. Then Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of tribes of the sons of Jacob, to whom the word of the Lord came, saying, Israel shall be your name. And with the stones Elijah built an altar in the name of the Lord. And he made a trench around the altar as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. He put wood in the altar and cut the bull in pieces and laid it on the wood and said, fill 4 jars with water and pour it on the burnt offering of the wood. And he said, do it the second time. And they did it a second time. And he said, do it the third time. And they did it a third time. The water ran round about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water. At the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, Elijah the prophet came near and said. Now I read all of this because I want you to see how confident Elijah was in God, proving who he is in reality, that he is the one and only true God. He was so confident that once he had set the sacrifice, he doused it with water, covered it with water 3 times, and put water in the trench around the altar. Now, looking at that's confidence. So, maybe it would catch fire, combustion, but let's douse it with water to remove any doubt of who the one true God is. That's how confident Elijah was in God and his faithfulness when he was called. Okay, so much in this account. So verse 36, at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, Elijah the prophet came near and said, O Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Israel here, let it be known this day that you are God in Israel, and that I am your servant, and that I have done all of these things at your word. Hear me, O Lord. Hear me, that this people may know that you, the Lord, are God, and have turned their hearts back to you. And then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and also licked up the water that was in the trench. When all of the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, the Lord, He is God. The Lord, He is God. And so Elijah said, seize the prophets of Baal and let not one escape. They seized them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook of Kishon as God's law required, and slew them there. And Elijah said to Ahab, go up, eat and drink, for there is the sound of the abundance of rain. So Ahab went up to eat and drink, and Elijah went to the top of Mount Carmel. He bowed himself down upon the earth, put his face between his knees, and said to his servant, go up now and look toward the sea. And he went up and looked and said, there is nothing. And Elijah said, go look 7 more times. And at the 7th time his servant said, a cloud as small as a man's hand is rising out of the sea. And Elijah said, go up, say to Ahab, hitch your chariots and go down, lest the rain stop you. In a little while, the heavens were black with winds, swept clouds, and there was a great rain. And Ahab went to Jezreel. The hand of the Lord was on Elijah. The hand of the Lord was on Elijah. I want you to hear that. The hand of the Lord was on Elijah. And he girded up his loins and ran before Ahab to the entrance of Jezreel, nearly 20 miles. And Ahab told Jezebel, that's his heathen queen, right? All that Elijah had done, and how he had slain all the prophets of Baal with the sword. And then Jezebel sent a messenger to Elijah, saying, So let the gods do to me, and more also, if I make not your life as the life of one of them by this time tomorrow. And then he, Elijah, was afraid, and arose and went for his life, came to Beersheba of Judah, over 80 miles and out of Jezebel's realm, and left his servant there. We are going to pick up here tomorrow, because this is where I want to dig into I'm never alone. Elijah has this amazing victory on display for all of Israel to see. And then Jezebel comes and says, I'm going to kill you like you killed them. And he runs to hide. All right, we'll pick up here. Oh, it's Friday. We'll pick up here Monday. I'll see you then, y'all. Bye.